Well, welcome to Speaking of Horses. Guess what? We are in Norco, California, and we are here to show you what Horsetown USA is all about. Norco is a unique city. I guarantee you there's only one Norco in the entire United States. And we got a lot of things to show you. We're going to show you how horsey this town is, the way it operates, the way it protects and honors the horses and mules in California, because there's a rich history of mules here as well. Horsetown USA is Norco, California, and we at Speaking of Horses are really happy to be here. We want to give a big thank you to the Fleece Works and a big thank you to the Hampton Inn for having us here, sponsoring our way in so we can show you all about Horse World. So, if you're ready, let's go inside in here. Let's go to Norco, and we're going to show you what's going on right here on Speaking of Horses. Street rather than sidewalks, horse trails here in Norco. Our mayor is Kathy Azevedo in the black top, and they're riding right through the streets in the residential area. Well, again, here we are speaking of horses, and we are in beautiful Norco, California, and I'm with Ann Hutchison, who is the president of the Norco Horsemen's Association. So you give us a little rundown on Norco and the Horsemen's Association and just what it means to be in Norco with your horses.
Well, it's heaven, first of all, and to be here with your horses, have your horses with your property, and have a community that is so animal-oriented is just, it's the best thing in the world. In fact, the Norco Horsemen's Association, we focus on ensuring that we maintain our rural lifestyle.
Well, you know, I marveled at, and I've talked to other people here obviously this weekend, but I've marveled at the fact that, you know, there's horses almost at every house. You don't have sidewalks, you have horse trails that meander down the roads. You can ride almost anywhere in Norco. There's tie rails, there's even some people that put up pipe slip stalls, so you got beautiful places to put your horse or corrals or the like. And it is a wonderful town to welcome people with horses in rather than have nothing but rules and regs that try to control. And it's a really breath of fresh air.
Yes, it is. And what can I say? I mean, that's how we want to keep Norco. I am sure you also saw, how many McDonald's do you go to that you can tie up your horse, run in, grab a burger, and get on your horse and ride back down the trail?
Now, I will tell you that in northern Indiana, in the Amish country, I have seen Amish buggies going through drive-thrus. That's the only other place I've seen that.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
It does happen, but, you know, Norco is just a... How long has Norco been promoting this horse-friendly atmosphere?
Well, Norco was incorporated in the early 60s. And I would say we have always promoted it, but that was one of the reasons we incorporated. And several years ago, we actually decided to become a charter city so we could ensure that we maintain this lifestyle.
And that's what your Norco Horsemen's Association works hard at doing, right?
Absolutely. We want to maintain the animal keeping lifestyle. We support our local FFA, but we also support our seniors. We value our seniors and our FFA equally.
Well, I appreciate it, Ann. It's a great organization. It's a great city. Now, look, if you're anywhere near Southern California, we're only, 50 miles out of L.A. to the east, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're in the L.A. basin. If you love horses, you have to come to Norco and see this. Guarantee you won't believe it. Ann, thank you.
Thank you.
And stay with us. We got more coming right here on Speaking of Horses. The clock at the shopping mall saying Horsetown USA, Norco, right there. What I'd like to ask you is, you know, how did Norco develop? How did it become Horsetown USA?
Well, we started out with chickens in the 1920s, and then, in the 1950s, after World War II, you started to have people coming in from Anaheim and Orange County, and they're getting kicked out of those areas because you had all the urban sprawl that started to come into the area. And they just dug their heels in and they said, you know what, we're not going to let this happen here. And as cities tried to annex them and tried to bring in these big parcels, or small, really what it was small houses on small lots. That's what they fought. And so in 1961-62, a chicken farmer and a doctor got together and said, no, we're going to become a city and incorporate ourselves and make sure we zone this in such a way that you can never break up the properties. So what they did was they had 80-foot frontages. And so today, we're the last city in the state of California, by law, you have to build on a half acre or more. There's actually more open space and parkland per capita here than any other city in Riverside, San Bernardino County.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing. And you go down through the town, and of course horses are very friendly in this town. In many cases they're
some are friendly.
Well, I know, but the people are friendly to horse people, all right, and horses, because you can, instead of sidewalks, you go along and you see the horse trails. And what I love is that some of your small, what they call pocket parks or whatever, that you go along there, there's a little playground area, but there's also a community round pen.
Right, that's right, that's exactly right. 50 years they've been telling us this couldn't exist. With the large lots, you get very little in the way of property taxes. They said all this open space, all these parks, you cannot do it. And for 50 years we've done it. Council after council has figured out a way to protect ourselves from apartments, small lot development, and we have figured out we bring in, some people say we're not business friendly. No, we want the kind of business that fits Norco. So if you have a lot of trucks, you're not going to come to Norco. That's just how it's been for 50 years.
Well, there's always a way to work it if you want to do it. I think back to farmers years ago. I grew up in the Midwest. Maybe didn't get the corn yield, but they didn't go with all of the chemicals. They didn't go with all the putting out their crop was just putting in the seed. Then they ran the cultivators a few times. They didn't spray. They didn't do all the weed controls by chemical. So even though their yield wasn't as big at the end, they still made more money, because a smaller number from a smaller number is still a profit number. If you have a lot of money invested in the upfront, you have to get a big yield or you lose money. So, if you say this is where we're at, this is what the tax base is going to be, there's always a way to work it out.
Well, Norconians, we'll make do with the potholes. We'll make do with taking care of our own trails. But make no mistake, we have a lot of manufacturing. We are home to Easy Up, Winco. We've got a lot of big companies that are here right now. Little tiny robotics companies, a little out of the way. By the way, there's a horse trail right in front of all of them.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a great setup. It works out very well, and it is just so refreshing to see a city that is dedicated. The horse built America, and the horse is still...
And the mule.
And the mule. I know we're in big mule country. I know that. The horse and the mule built America, okay? And they deserve a place of prominence with us. They deserve not to be shoved out with mechanization. Matter of fact, they're coming back doing so many things now in therapeutic riding, the programs with the wounded warriors coming home, that the horses have just found a whole new way to continue to help us.
Well, you got to fight for it. I mean, we fight every developer comes to town unless they want to play ball with us. And you also have the people that come in and don't realize they moved to Norco, and they say, well, how come we don't have sidewalks? So you're always fighting those too.
Well, Councilman Bash, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And it's really a pleasure to be here in Norco.
All right. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Now, you watch this, because we're going to take you on a tour in Norco. You've got a bit of the history. Now we're going to tell you a lot more about what this city's all about. Stay with us on Speaking of Horses. This is one of the many pocket parks, they're called, in Norco. And as you can see, the playground equipment for the kids. But if you'll notice here, we have a small arena, slightly larger than a round pen. These are public arenas. You can bring your horses over. There's actually, over here, there is a corral where you can park your horses while you're here. The trails run right by the park, and these are all over the city. So you can park your horses in the corral. You can come up here and work your horses if your backyard isn't big enough for a round pen. Here is a place to work them. And then, of course, you have the rest of the community and the playground for the kids. Truly a horse-friendly community in every facet. Here we are in the residential area in Norco, And as you can see, the horse trails run right up through all of the residential area, down the main streets. Truly, it is Horsetown USA, because you can literally ride your horse right out of your backyard and anywhere in the city that you would desire to go. There's a horse trail. Well, we're having a great time here, speaking of horses, in beautiful Norco, California. Tell you, I've never been to Norco before. I've been to the LA Basin many times. I am just amazed. I love this place. I would move here in a heartbeat.
We're kind of the best kept secret in the country. I mean, everybody's building up all around us and everything, but we've got a charter in the city that protects our horse trails, our animal keeping size lots, and it takes a super majority vote to change anything. And we've got 130 miles of trails, no sidewalks. All the restaurants and saloons, they have corrals and tie-ups that they can ride your horse up there and tie up and go shopping.
I love it.
Great place.
Now, we're here with Bear and Hannah. Now, NART is what?
Norco Animal Rescue Team.
And you guys just put on a demonstration, and we're going to show you this in just a minute, about how you would bring an injured horse in, prepare it for helicopter lift.
No, this was to prepare it for a veterinarian to treat it. If the horse can't stand, we lift them, and then the vet can diagnose what's wrong with the animal.
Okay, so this is taking a horse that's down that you would then sedate before you moved it, putting it on the sled, bringing it over to your tripod, setting it up, and all that's involved in protecting the horse, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And to do a helicopter lift, it's a whole different setup. We can actually, if we got one to stand up with that little sling, we put our Anderson sling on, and then bring in the helicopter and lift it there.
Yeah, the Anderson sling is the one designed for helicopter lift, right?
Right. And that's the only safe way you can lift a horse, is with that Anderson sling.
Well, I watched the demonstration. It was amazing. And, of course, you know, we're going to show you an interview here in a little bit also with JT, who was a gentleman that partook of some of your expertise a few years ago. Matter of fact, I live in Wisconsin. I heard the story about the horse coming off the trail and going down the switchback and getting some more. That story was you know, pretty widespread. And to actually get to interview JT, who was a victim in that, and how you guys helped him out.
Right, we got there just as JT and his horse had climbed this wall in there, I guess, and then we had to move to another location to receive the other two horses that the helicopters brought in. And JT, luckily he was not injured, just slightly, you know, a few scratches, and his horse was okay too. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you, what I witnessed here was great, and we're going to let the people watch right now. All of you that are watching the show, you're going to get to see this simulation in action and exactly how good this team is. You're one of the premier teams anywhere for large animal rescue.
Well, we work at this. We're legally supposed to train once a month, but sometimes we'll train 3 or 4 times a month. Just you've seen how complicated those straps can be and this and that, and we do it just to keep everybody refreshed, because you never know when we're going out.
And we're going to remind everybody also that you are Mayor Pro Tem again?
Right.
So you will be mayor next year?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
And next year is Norco's 50th birthday, so we're going to have a year-long birthday celebration next year.
I'll tell you what, I'd love to come back out for that and do some filming of one of your celebrations. That would be great.
I'll tell you what, we have a lot of celebrations, but one of the biggest celebrations we'll have next year is it's always the last Saturday in July. It's a national holiday. It's a National Day of the American Cowboy. We celebrate that big time. So figure on coming out that weekend, and we'll have a blast.
You know what? You got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you, sir.
All right. Now hang on, because we promised you that video. Let's watch how this rescue actually took place, how this standing up with this horse for care, and how well this team works. Watch right now.
It's already cast for you, the A-frame. Do you have lower out here is probably about. Hey, hold on. Danny, lift yours up. Well, you're not level on top. Lowest capacity. No. There you go. Okay, rotate the clip. Rusty. 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 Hey, you got a second?
One in the back. Okay, that's good. Now put the other strap under there.
Pick his head up.
And 2 to 3 men can move this horse real easy. Over there. Is that better? Is that better? I made it way. Okay, they're going to move him up snap with these 2 straps. When we get ready, that little yellow helmet they put under there, they'll put that on him. That protects his head from being injured if it just be flopping. Use it for a pillow to see how far he's going to be on the deal. When we do it, we put that on him off of the blindfold.
Guys ready? On 3. You gonna tell him? Yeah, I'll tell you. Call it. All right, count 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep going, keep going. Keep on straight if you can, so you turn them. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going. Whoa.
Now, that sled is made out of Teflon. It will slide on anything. If you get it on grass, you can run it. No, they sedate. That's fine. We have a rule. We don't touch any animals. We have a veterinary there and animal control. And it don't have to be one of our animals. We have
We'll take him up. Yeah, we'll tighten him up. We get him. Okay, you guys look at the tuck line. Okay, watch yourselves. Both about the same back.
You guys not ready to lift?
You guys ready? All right. Ready to left? Who's gonna call it? You gonna call it?
Yeah, hang on, let's finish.
Buzz. Put his helmet on.
Helmet.
Twisted. I will. Can't get him up. I got people to do it.
Slack the blue one. You need.
I wish they'd turn all around and look at us and give us a photo.
We're good. All right, now you're hooked up on the stone. There you go.
The only thing I see is this one is awful short. This one's awful long.
Pull on there. Straight up.
That's too bad.
Off of the horse.
There we go.
There you go. Come back down here. Bottom of the blade. That way we're pulling. Straight up. Got that pull on there.
Ready, boss.
Right, you guys good? Yep. Control ready? We're ready.
Ready. We're just stuck up on the back of his head.
Ease him up here.
Pull on his tail a little bit. Straighten him out. Pull his tail a little. Good enough. Somebody pull his tail. A little higher. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I can see him like a real horse.
Right in front of the shopping mall, we have a corral with tie rails. Horses parked out for people who are in here either shopping or eating. They swing across 6th Street, and there's actually riders coming up the other side of the street, moving right along in front of the Ranch Outfitters. And the very unique Horsehead designed street lights that light 6th Street, which is one of the main drags right through Norco. Right here, the sign at the fire department crossing says, "Whoa," for the fire engines. Well, we're still speaking of horses in beautiful Norco, California, and we're glad to have you join us here for this show. We're talking about Norco and how Norco is such a horse community. And Brian Petrie is my guest. He's Director of Parks, Recreation, and
Community Services.
Community Services. Almost got it out.
There you go.
But Brian is responsible for the things that happen here at this Equestrian Center. And tell us a little bit about this center and how it fits into Norco.
Well, the GI, as we refer to it, the George Ingalls Equestrian Event Center, is what we call really kind of the heart and blood of the community. It's one of our crown jewels. It's kind of been a personal thing for the community to take it to that next level in the equine community, to make it a top equestrian facility, not only in the state but in the United States. And so that's one of our objectives here to do that. And we've recently have completed our second arena here, which we're standing in right now, the Clark Arena. And we have additional grading that's going on to expand the facility by another 10 acres.
It's amazing, and we're here for the Backcountry Horseman's Rendezvous, but excuse me, you've got these beautiful covered arenas, you've got all this facility, you've got the mountains, and tell us more. You've got, of course, Norco, which has been known as Horsetown for forever almost, it seems, and still with all of the horse trails through the town, you can ride almost anywhere in town on your horse.
That's correct. We actually have 130 miles of trails that go out throughout the community. These are residential trails. Those particular trails are links and connections to our open space areas, where we have almost 700 acres of open space. Just behind us to the east of the arenas here, we have 400 acres that connect to the 80-acre park facility, which are all open space. And you can connect in there into the Santa Ana River Trail system, which is a national trail system that can get you from Riverside County to San Bernardino County all the way into Orange County. And so we really pride ourselves as Horsetown USA. We make the claim that we have almost as many horses as people. So per capita, we have we figure about 19,000 horses with 24,000 people living in town.
And for a Midwesterner to go through Norco, to see not sidewalks, to see nothing but horse trails right by the houses, right downtown, either tie rails, slip stalls, and almost every business, and horses are welcome. In so many parts of the country, that philosophy isn't there like it is in Norco. I love it.
Oh, thank you, and we really appreciate it. We try to our residential community, we have half-acre lots or larger, and in between there we have our neighborhood parks. All of our neighborhood parks have a warm-up arena or an exercise arena in them, and actually a holding corral, so that if you live in that neighborhood, you can ride down to your little arena and get your exercise, work on different things that you might related to various equine disciplines, and so it makes it very, very special to our community. And we're only 45 minutes from Los Angeles, so we're really kind of hidden here in the Riverside County.
Well, it's great. Brian, thank you for joining me.
I appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
And Norco, it's just wonderful. So check it out. It's Norco, Norco, California. If you haven't seen it, find out about it. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Won't be back again, oh Harvey moon, shine down on the Joshua tree. Send your moonbeams down on the desert breeze. Touch her heart and she might change her tune. Do it soon. Come through Mojave moon. She always said romance was fight by a big old moon up there in the desert sky. Now she's singing a goodbye song. It's up to you to show her that she's wrong. Mojave moon, I've done all I know to do. From now on, it's all up to you. Touch her heart and she might change her tune. Do it soon. Come through Mojave moon. Howdy-o-do-do, howdy-o-do-do-do-do-dee. Howdy-o-do-do, howdy-o-do-do-dee. My baby's leaving on the morning train. If we don't hurry, she won't be back again. Mojave moon, shine down on the Joshua tree. Send your moonbeams down on the desert breeze. Touch her heart and she might change her tune. Do it soon. Come through Mojave moon. I'm counting on you. Come through Mojave moon.
Well, that's our show. We've been through Norco, California. We're glad you joined us, and we hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, check out Norco, California. Look them up on the web, because if you're into horses, mules, anything equine, sometime in your life you have to come to Norco. So stay with us. We got a lot of shows coming on Speaking of Horses. We'll see you down the trail.